Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. The Agriculture Department says that onion supply from local harvest will not be enough to meet demand. The agency also expects onion supply to further dwindle ahead of the holiday season. At the worst, the department said it could resort to importation. But for now, the DA is appealing to farmers and traders to sell onions in their storage in order to help lower prices.
Sinasabi natin ngayon, pakiusap dun sa ating mga farmer traders and traders na kung meron kayo sa cold storage, ilabas nyo na muna. Pamasko na lang nyo yan ng ating pamahalaan, lalong-lalo addressing also kay Presidente, no?
And one fishers group is pushing for a total ban on imported fish. Pamalakaya Chairman Fernando Hiccup told the Big Story that local supply is enough to meet demand. He also noted that the country already has a growing aquaculture for imported fish variants like pampano.
Kaya ang dapat talaga to sa liban ng importation, ang kailangan talaga na dapat ulan ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Marcos ay yung pagpapaunlad ng ating pangisdaan, industriya natin para manatili yung sufficient supply.
Hiccup also called on the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, to go after fish importers and not just vendors. The BFAR earlier said that it will start confiscating imported fish being sold in markets starting December 4.
Buong taon maraming dumadagsa ang mga imported na isda sa ating palengke, no? Kaya yun yung nakakabahala, no? Ang kailangan diyan dapat parusahan, no, yung mga importer na lumalabag dito sa mga patakaran.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this quick break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Finance Secretary Ben Diokno says that President Bongbong Marcos supports the proposal to create a sovereign wealth fund. Marian Enriquez with the report.
The House Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries has already approved in principle the proposed bill seeking to create a sovereign wealth fund that will be called Maharlika Investment Fund. A technical working group has been formed to fine-tune the measure. The objective of the MIF is to pool funds from government financial institutions and channel them to diversified investments such as bonds, foreign currencies, stocks, and even commercial and real estate projects with the end goal of achieving financial gains and ensure profitability. Among the 5 lawmakers who authored the bill are Presidential son Ilocos Norte Representative Sandro Marcos and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. But where will the initial funds come from? The measure proposes a seed money of 250 billion pesos from the founding government financial institutions or GFIs. 125 billion pesos from GSIS, 50 billion pesos each from SSS and Land Bank of the Philippines, and 25 billion pesos from the Development Bank of the Philippines, and another 25 billion pesos from the national government. Finance Secretary Ben Diokno says these GFIs have already committed for the funds. Diokno adds that the private sector is welcome to join and invest in Maharlika.
Anybody who's willing to invest in that fund are welcome. Okay, so could be international, could be private sector.
Diokno also touts that his fellow economic managers and even President Bongbong Marcos is supportive of the bill.
This has the imprimatur of the president. In fact, the creation of the wealth fund. Yung concept ng sovereign wealth fund. Nung nag-umpisa yan nung nasa BSP governor pa ako.
Ganon.
We want to create a fund na will take care of future generations of Filipinos.
The finance chief adds once the bill creating the Maharlika Fund is passed into law, this may be operational sometime next year.
Depends on how fast the governing council can be constituted. No? I think give it another 6 months from the passage before it becomes operational.
However, House Ways and Means Committee Chairperson and Albay Representative Joey Salceda raised concerns about some provisions of the bill. Under the Board of Directors, the Chairperson and Chief Executive Officer shall be representative of the GFI with the biggest fund investment. The Maharlika Investments Corporation, or MIC, shall be responsible for the overall governance and management of the MIF.
Ideally, in the whole world, in the financial sector, the chairman and the CEO cannot be the same person. They are separate. And I take a very strong position on this. Commingling CEO in chair position in a government fund could be prejudicial to accountable governance of the fund.
Diokno says the proposed Maharlika Investment Corporation that will oversee the management of the Sovereign Wealth Fund must be independent and should not be identified with the sitting president.
Sabi ko, just make sure that it is not identified with the president. So that whoever is the president, nariyan lang siya, but he cannot meddle with the use of the fund. You really have to have a governing council that is totally out of government.
Private sector lahat.
Private sector.
Pero still,
I think that Secretary of Finance is a member of that. Just one member.
For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
And in the UAAP, the Adamson Soaring Falcons and the De La Salle Green Archers will go head-to-head for 4th seed in the men's basketball tournament. Marty Bautista with the details.
Oh, nice swipe by Andrade. And then Andrade gets the reverse.
The Ateneo Blue Eagles have sealed the top seed in the UAAP Season 85 men's basketball tournament after beating the Adamson University Soaring Falcons 66-61. This is the 5th straight year that the Eagles wound up at the top of the standings. The team now carries a twice-to-beat edge heading into the Final Four. Kai Balongay led the way for Ateneo with 18 points and 14 rebounds, while BJ Andrade and Ange Kawame chipped in 13 and 12 points respectively.
One big advantage for us is they're going to be knocking each other out. and we're going to be resting and practicing and preparing, and we're going to be watching the next game. I think that's a very big advantage for us.
Adamson will now play the De La Salle University Green Archers for the 4th seed.
Nelly gets into traffic, gets the foul, and the bucket!
That's after La Salle came storming back and defeated the UST Growling Tigers 77-72. The Archers erased a 9-point deficit in the 4th period to keep their Final Four hopes alive. With their backs against the wall, Evan Nelly delivered for La Salle with 25 points.
Coming into this game, when I got to the arena, I was like so pumped up. Coach kept telling us like in the dugout, next man up. So that's what we did.
The playoff for the 4th seed between Adamson and La Salle will be on Sunday, with the winner taking on the Blue Eagles. For News 5, Marty Bautista, We Are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The House Appropriations Committee wants to restore the proposed 10 billion peso budget for 2023 for the NTF-LCAC. Committee Chairman Zaldico said the instruction to restore the budget came from House Speaker Martin Romualdez and Deputy Senior Majority Leader Sandro Marcos. Prosecutors have dismissed complaints filed by retired COMELEC Commissioner Rowena Guanzon against National Youth Commission head Ronald Cardema. The Quezon City Prosecutor's Office said Guanzon's cyber libel and unjust vexation complaints against Cardema lack probable cause. And Pagasa says up to 2 tropical cyclones are expected to enter the Philippine area of responsibility before the end of the year. The State Weather Bureau said these cyclones are likely to make landfall and could reach typhoon to super typhoon category. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.